fact is, if Gonzalez doesn't win this one, he may as well hang up his gloves. He had a reputation for being a monster. Until, of course, he faced Riddick Bowe. Bowe destroyed that monstrous outlook that most of us had about Gonzalez, and he's not been the same since, although he's turned in a good first round here against Ross Purity. Ross Purity really nothing more than a journeyman fighter. Albeit a fairly decent one. He doesn't go over easy, that's for sure. But Gonzalez is a thunderous puncher. He's actually mixed in pretty good company, Ross Purity. That draw with Tommy Morrison. Prior to that, he lost on points to the Canadian Kirk Johnson, not a bad prospect. Also took Brian Nielsen, the gigantic Dane, the full route. And more recently lost to Hassim Rahman on points over 10. Of course, we featured Rahman from Liverpool very recently on a live show. And also Mike Grant, that unbeaten American, the latest white hope outpointed Purity in the summer of this year. Last minute of round 2, and there seems to be an absence of snap now from Gonzalez here in round 2, having started the first round very well. Purity looking to try and draw the sting of Gonzalez quite early on. And it's often been said that Gonzalez lacks stamina. Oh, that's a low blow from Gonzalez. Yes, Gonzalez does lack stamina over a longer course. But the further this one goes, the more chances Purity may get. Good stiff right then from Gonzalez to the head. Good round again then from Jorge Luis Gonzalez, the Havana Hammer, as they now call him.
You're stronger than this. You see that head, how you back him up with it? You gotta let your hands go. Reach to the sky.
Well, quite a bit of leaning on the inside there. Round 3. And referee Fred Copeland basically has let them to it. Nice work there from Gonzalez again. Looking very lively so far, Jorge Luis. And if you remember rightly, it was rights, big crazy rights from Tim Witherspoon and Riddick Bowe that put paid to Gonzalez's ambitions. Purity doesn't hit like that, I'm afraid. He's won 19, lost 10. Well, I say he doesn't hit like that. At his level, he's actually stopped 17 opponents. Gonzalez, of course, has only been the distance once when winning. The 24 wins, 23 inside the limit. And for so long, Oklahoma, a non-licensed state, no commission state, I should say, where anything went. All sorts of crazy matches and phantom names.
Stop! Stay back! Work! Work!
Well, after a fair start to this third round for Ross Purity, it looks like Gonzalez, although he takes a good uppercut, just might get himself back into things here. a daisy. Stumble there from Purity. Takes another little right from Gonzalez, and again. Gonzalez looking for a way forward. And not doing at all badly after a bit of an onslaught by Purity. Big slashing right again from the Cuban. And he's a real monster, this Gonzalez, with a terrible reputation outside the ring. Opponents have come up to him and said good luck. He's slapped them around the face. He's been very discourteous with various media people and fans. Odd man, and yet some people say he's got his gentle side as well. Well, this doesn't look like a bad round for Gonzalez after a tawdry middle part.
There's a doubleheader of live World Cup skiing this weekend on Eurosport. For the men, downhill and slalom in Chamonix in the heart of the French Alps. Will the great French season continue? The women are in Austria for downhill and Super G. Can Germany's Katja Zeitzinger respond to the World Cup challenge of the Swede Pernilla Wiberg? The Alpine Ski World Cup, Chamonix and Bad Kleinkirchheim, Sunday live at 11 a.m. and 1300 on Eurosport. With Warsteiner, partner in the Eurosport team. And Cafe de Colombia, it's the World Cup.
Touch of replay here for that good spell by Ross Purity, keeping Gonzalez pinned on the ropes. We're coming up now for round 4. That's Pete Susans, by the way, in the corner of Gonzalez. So Gonzalez then has won the first 3 rounds, in my opinion. Ross Purity's had his moments, but not been able to sustain them so far. And as I said before, this is not a bad performance so far by this Cuban giant, 6 feet 7 inches tall. And of course, for marquee value, why not match Nikolai Valuev of Russia, 7 feet 1. We've shown him, of course, on Eurosport twice so far. Put him in with Gonzalez. Nice left hand work from Gonzalez. And again, good left jab by Gonzalez, ruined it by closing the gap on Purity. Sign of tiredness. Once again, Purity trying to score a few on the inside there, and he's losing a point now, Gonzalez, for holding behind the back of the head. It's an interesting turn-up. The 10-point must system is a bit confusing. Gonzalez has won this round without a doubt, but he's lost the point. Again there, Purity trying to whack a few in on the blind side. And he's he's doing very well, Purity, to get as close as he is, because he's taking quite a few risks. Well, Purity lost the round, but he's going to get 10 points along with Gonzalez. Gonzalez managed by Louis de Cubas, who of course manages Roberto Duran. Got a bit of a mixed reception from the American fight aficionados, Mr. de Cubas. This is round 5 of this 10-round contest now. And referee Fred Copeland once again warning Gonzalez not to hold behind the head. And really, when you think that Purity is walking forward, begging to be hit, it's quite a wonder he's managed to close Gonzalez down the way he is. It's just Gonzalez making mistakes, really. And if he was world champion as an amateur for 8 years, it makes you wonder how much he's actually forgotten. It looks like he's forgotten more than he knows. Once again, Purity playing the punch bag there. Trying to wear Gonzalez out. Hoping Gonzalez gets very arm weary, lets them drop so he can get through. And don't forget, Purity took big punches from Tommy Morrison for 10 rounds. Now, Purity's got no interest at all in punching from the outside, but catching Gonzalez there with the left hook. And a good right from Purity. But once again, he's having a spell. Was this a career lightest for Gonzalez? As Witherspoon, sorry, my apologies, as Purity swipes away. Of course, Ross Purity, not a patch on Tim Witherspoon. And again, getting through some nice shots there. And Gonzalez getting laboured somewhat as Purity puts in a good finish. Might just be enough to share him the round. Touch of replay here. Gonzalez forced to back off. Round 6. Jorge Luis Gonzalez needs to get that discipline back. As I said before, this is a fight he cannot afford to lose. He's lost twice so far in 26 fights. He cannot afford to lose this one. Otherwise, all of those fancy dreams he had will be blown away. Purity, though, the kind of man who will raise his game accordingly. The bigger the name he's against, the better he fights. Although, to be honest, he's not fought that well here. His offensive has been quite poor. He's walked forward and taken a lot of shots. Great uppercut then from Purity. Well, once again, Purity having some good spells with the right hand. And this is the kind of thing that Gonzalez hates. He doesn't like being put under pressure. Good stiff left then from Gonzalez. And really, Purity is making absolute mockery of Jorge Luis Gonzalez punching power. As the swelling now occurred on the left eye of Gonzalez, trying to pour Purity away. Gonzalez just lacking the energy to get the center of the ring and keep it. Well, in spite of that spell by Purity, which had Gonzalez on the ropes, it looks like Gonzalez might have landed enough punches to win this 6th round. Well, he's just lost another point for holding behind the back of the head. A touch of the Andrew Gallotas. Well, now he's looking to make Purity pay. Good stiff jab to finish the round from Gonzalez.
Listen to me, he's ready to be taken, he's buffaloing. You gotta pull from in here. This is a fight you win. Pull from that hard side. Look at me. I'm not yelling at you because you're not doing the job. I'm yelling at you because I know you can win it.
A little bit of psychological input then from the Purity corner as we come out for round 7.
Let go.
Body shot, straying low from Purity. Gonzalez didn't like it. Purity out to put him under pressure once again. Now this, of course, was something Gonzalez never learned to cope with. And he's got caught there with the right hand. Can Gonzalez grit his teeth the way real fighters do and come back? He's not really taking clean punches. They're just skimming. But he looks bothered by them. What's going on? Well, Gonzalez talking to Purity, Purity talking back. Gonzalez looks like he's roused himself now. Purity there, just trying to lunge and hang in. Force the referee to once again caution Gonzalez if Gonzalez makes mistakes. Well, these tactics from Purity are going to be one of two things: madness or genius. All part, of course, of the same equation. Once again, Gonzalez lashing with the right. Oh, good shot to the body. Big right from Ross Purity. Gonzalez in a bit of trouble, takes a left hook. So Gonzalez hurt there by a left hook. Taking a standing count from referee Fred Copeland. Hobson, he's dropped his gum shield. What's going on here? It's all over. Ross Purity's won. I can't believe Gonzalez has actually retired himself. He took out his gum shield, said, "I've had enough." Well, I suppose that's an exposure of the bully mentality in the big Cuban, who could dish it out, but he could never take it. Well, all of the Gonzalez critics vindicated at last, and he's been beaten by a journeyman. Of course, you could excuse the loss to Riddick Bowe. You could excuse the loss to Tim Witherspoon.
Patricia Jarman introducing the referee in charge of this bout, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing red trunks, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Guanabacoa, Cuba. He weighed in at 252 pounds with an unblemished record of 13 wins, no losses, 12 wins by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Jorge Luis Gonzalez. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round heavyweight bout. He's wearing white trunks with black trim and fighting out of Houston, Texas. He weighed in tonight at 286 pounds. His record includes 27 victories, 12 losses, and 1 draw, with 19 wins by way of knockout. Introducing Mike the Giant White. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Toby Gibson.
Over here, let's go, come on. You're in there just somewhere, Jimmy? Okay, I want the Spanish speaker.
You know Spanish?
Okay, I want to tell both of them right now, I want this to be the cleanest fight.
Quiere que esta pelea sea limpia.
Obey my commands at all times.
Obedece sus reconocimientos, sus reglas.
I want clean boxing and no wrestling.
Quiere un boxeo limpio, no luchando.
Undo his robe. I want to look the height of his trunk.
The head of Jorge Gonzalez. And, you know, at 6'10 and a half, 280-some pounds, the man looks like he could be playing center for the Lakers or the Clippers or somebody.
And in fact, he did play college basketball at Eastern Kentucky. And but what did he like to do when he played basketball?
Good guard.
Yeah, wanted to bring the ball up. You know that from all your basketball days. Isn't that what all the big guys want to do? They want to take it outside and shoot. He said, I want to do things that people don't expect me to do. That's part of the reason why he's more of a boxer. Now, I'll tell you, Jorge Gonzalez, I guarantee you, he will see something in this fight that he's not yet seen. He'll see a jab in his face constantly, and he's going to see a guy who ties him up better than anybody he has faced.
That's White in the white trunks trimmed in black, and Gonzalez in the black trunks trimmed in red. Isn't it always the way? The Shakespearean actor who, an overhand right that kind of jarred White just a little bit, and Gonzalez has got a good right. The Shakespearean actor who wants to do stand-up comedy. The comedian who wants to do Hamlet. It's always the way.
And for Mike White, one thing he cannot afford in this bout is to get involved in a slugging contest with Gonzalez. He wants to set the tempo. He's trying to do a boxing jab, keep Gonzalez at bay, not get hit with the overhand right, which he's been hit with once or twice.
Let's go box it out here. With the wrestling, gentlemen, let's go box.
Gibson says we're out here to box, men, not wrestle.
And I tell you, Mike White does want to hold on a little on the inside. Oh, nice right by Gonzalez. So he's getting that punch in.
And he's got a good right hand. Gonzalez is undefeated. 12 of his 13 wins have come via the knockout route. Where would you put Gonzalez, providing he looks good here tonight, Al? Is he, where would you put him? Is he a guy that tune-up for the guy who's going to win a fight for the title or something?
Well, I think if he could beat Mike White really convincingly, like Garcia, for instance, knocked Mike White out in 2 rounds, and he's considered something contender, it would vault Gonzalez up. But I think Jorge Gonzalez is still 3 or 4 fights away from being a top 10 heavyweight. He's got to prove, for instance, that he can go away to fight. I mean, he has never been past 8 rounds.
And suddenly White swings to the southpaw style. Both men a bit wary of each other, as you might imagine. You get 2 guys this size. You approach each other with some trepidation. White kind of slapping.
Yeah, that's been his problem throughout his career. And now, when he fights a much shorter man, he brings his punches up and they have more power. But in this case, he's got to throw him a lot straighter at Gonzalez, and that's even making it worse for the slapping.
Gonzalez with a right hand that misses rather badly, and that right hand into the ribs, just into the left arm. We're in the first round. It's scheduled for 10. Still to come, of course, the golden boy from Barcelona, Oscar de la Hoya. To the hospital, there he is, and we hope it is just a precautionary measure. Ruben, can you tell us anything about that?
Absolutely right, Tommy. Exactly what you said. It's all precautionary. They're going to just take him to the hospital for observation. Nothing more than that. Back
Felix, of course, was a knockout victim of Jorge Paez in the 8th round of about just concluded.
Probably that scene tells you as much as you need to know about some of the changes in boxing. I doubt that would have happened 15 years ago in boxing. They wouldn't have thought of taking him to a hospital to take a look at him. He would have just been left to his own devices.
Al, I did a fight one night when a young man from Wales was beaten by Lupi Pintor and died literally in the ring. And it was the longest time before they could even get an ambulance there to take the man to California Hospital.
What a difference. Well, thank goodness they have learned.
Hopefully. It gets better for the fighters, hopefully.
Gonzalez coming out with an overhand right here in this round, and that is his ticket in this fight. Though we've seen a better left hook from him than in the past. This is certainly a better performance by Gonzalez than he's had in some others. I think he's in better shape. I think he's listening to his trainers a little bit more. That was an area that of a lot of concern. But he's in against a man who is not doing much in terms of counterpunching. Mike White, this is not one of his better performances so far.
No, and in fact, White switches to the southpaw stance as we look up at these 2 giants here at Hilton Center. We're at the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel. I'm Tom Kelly along with Al Bernstein. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and I hope wherever you are that you are enjoying our star-studded attraction here tonight. Jorge Paez successful in his effort to find a TKO knockout winner over Ramon Felix. Still to come, the golden boy, Oscar de la Hoya, and of course the unification bout between Carvajal and Gonzalez. The crowd is not really tuned in to the heavyweight display put on here by White and Jorge Gonzalez. As Al Bernstein, sitting next to me at ringside, has said, why White is offering token resistance and very little offense, while Gonzalez being cautioned a moment there by Toby Gibson has really provided most of the action in the fight. Heavyweights have a tendency from time to time to waltz you around for 7 or 8 rounds.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot with heavyweights, Tom. As you know, you may get 2 guys with the styles that will make it a good fight, and you may get them together, and it isn't. And in this case, Gonzalez is doing his best to make it a good fight. Part of the problem with White is, I saw him fight Dickie Ryan, a shorter fighter, and it was a pretty interesting fight because when White can come up with his punches, he throws them with some authority. When he has to come down, when he has to come straight ahead against the big fighter, he has trouble throwing those punches and he slaps, and that's part of the reason why there's been so little good offense from him.
He swings to the southpaw style and pays for it. First of all, a left hook and then an overhand right by Gonzalez, both of which scored. These are awfully big men. White is 6'10 and a half and 280 plus pounds, and Gonzalez is 6'6", maybe 6'7", and 262 pounds.
And the worst part of this is, as we go on in this fight, I almost hate to say this, Gonzalez will probably do less offensively because it's been his history, and if he does less offensively, we're really in trouble.
Barcelona by way of East LA, and Ruben Castillo was with him. Let's go back to the dressing room and bring in Ruben.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Oscar, you're fighting Jeff Mayweather in a few minutes. 23 wins, 2 losses. That's got to be the toughest fight up to this point. What are your thoughts, and how are you going to fight him?
Well, I believe it is my toughest fight until this point. And, he's got a good record, 23 wins with 2 losses, 2 draws, and he's a nice, experienced fighter, and he runs a lot. He's a slick boxer, and I'm going to just go in and work the body, cut off the ring, and kind of get him tired for the later rounds.
How do you think he's going to fight you?
He'll be moving around, dancing around, using his jab a lot, trying to escape, trying not to get maybe hit a lot, and it's going to be a really good fight.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you. Let's go back to Tom Kelly.
Thank you, Ruben. Oscar De La Hoya. That is not just a casual sobriquet, Golden Boy. This is a very nice young man.
He is a good guy. I was waiting for you to use that word, sobriquet.
Well, I didn't want to disappoint
That's your favorite word, and I love it. Yeah, he
is a great kid.
He is a golden boy, you know, and as you look at the numbers, White doing very poorly in percentage landed. A warning to Gonzalez, and he just can't believe Toby Gibson would dare to warn him about that, holding behind the head.
Well, and he almost did it again.
De La Hoya with a great future in boxing, and Jorge Gonzalez knows that his future is now at 28 years of age. He's got to make things happen in the heavyweight division in the next year or so. And you're right, Tom, when you say that Gonzalez really feels that White is just not going to be able to to give him anything power-wise that's going to hurt him, so he can walk right in.
He's done that with some success. He has prompted most of the action. He has hit the better punches, and he has dominated this fight, such as it is. To get back to De La Hoya, he is, and it's an overworked phrase to be sure, he is a true role model. This kid is so first-rate it almost scares you, really. His family is with him 100%. He's a clean-cut kid, handsome, press agent's dream. When you see him in the ring, he's a magnificently schooled fighter for being a young professional, but he had a great amateur career. And when you see him a bit later, he's going to please you, I'm sure.
Mike. Come here, let's go. Mix it up. Both of us, this fight stinks. Let's go.
Every time you see a couple of guys like this, and I don't mean to denigrate the abilities or talents of either Gonzalez or White. Whoops, that overhand right, and White nearly went to the deck. There's another one. Gonzalez has got him hurt. Gibson is ready to stop it, and there's a left. Down goes White, and I don't think... He's up at 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mike, give me a glove.
I think Mike White is hurt, and I'm not sure he wants to continue. Good call by Toby Gibson.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something about what Toby Gibson did. And it's what the referee didn't do in the Michael Dokes-Riddick bullfight and why he got in trouble for it. He had plenty of time to take a look at Mike White and decide whether to stop it. And you better be looking at a fighter when you stop the fight. And Toby Gibson was doing that, and that's why it was an appropriate call for this man, Jorge Gonzalez. A good win for him because of the fact he was able to get White out of there relatively early. And White did not have one of his better nights as you look at him, and so maybe there are still plenty of questions about Jorge Gonzalez, but one thing he did show tonight was, and we'll see it here, he showed the ability to throw more than one punch at a time, and he showed the power in the right hand that we know he has. He'll throw a left and an overhand right. Now, those are awkward combinations, Tom, but at least he was throwing combinations.
And he had White in trouble, and then you saw the left hand that came in. Here's another look at it. Gonzalez with disdain for White's ability to defend himself or to answer back, and now he's going to take him on the ropes. There's a solid left, and White, just all 6'10" and a half of them, sinks to the ropes and down to the canvas. And I second your opinion of the job that Gibson did. He looked at the man, knew he could not continue, gave him every chance to indicate that he could, and wisely stopped this fight. Now, for Gonzalez, I don't know how good he is. Al Bernstein, you're by far and away a better fight expert than I would ever imagine to be. 14-0 now and 13 knockouts, so I don't know. How good is Gonzalez?
Well, I think he's a guy that's edging toward the top 10 of the heavyweight division, but needs a couple more fights to prove to people that he should be there. He has not faced a puncher yet, for instance. No one that could. A lot of the early fights he had, as you look at the numbers, a lot of the early fights Gonzalez had, Tom, were against guys who are almost cruiserweight types, and White's not a big puncher either, even though he's big. We'll know more about this man when we see him against a guy that can punch.
I don't know if he's a great boxer either. He's got to work on that a little bit for my money, but hey, he's a winner here tonight, and that is that. And Jimmy Lennon Jr. has got the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 21 seconds. In round number 4, the referee in charge, Toby Gibson, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, he is still undefeated, Jorge Luis Gonzalez.
Nice win for Gonzalez, no question about it. The Cuban expatriate. Every win is a win, and a win is a win, and it's a nice thing to have. And there is White out of the ring and headed for the dressing room. Hey, boy, what a following he's got. If that isn't built-in box office and a press agent's dream for a Southern California Los Angelino, nothing else is.
When he made it all possible when he won the Olympics, the gold medal in the Olympics, and of course, been overworked perhaps, but clearly he dedicated that Olympic gold medal to his mother, Cecilia, who died of breast cancer at the age of 38 while Oscar was preparing for getting ready to fight in the trials in the box office to go to the Olympics. And that win and the story surrounding it and his ability has made him quite the figure.
Meantime, Jeff Mayweather waits in the ring for the young man that he says he's going to take to school. Going to welcome to the ranks of the professionals.
And one thing about Jeff Mayweather is he looks at this scene. He's not the kind of guy that loses his cool. He's an articulate young man, a college graduate in graphic design, a very cool customer. And so that part of it won't bother him.
De La Hoya is just about 5 feet 11. Mayweather is 5'7.5". These are a couple of big guys. That is tall. Lightweights. The Golden Boy. And here's Jeff Mayweather in the tail of the tape. Mayweather is 8 years older. He is, well, let's call it 3.5 inches shorter. He's a pound heavier, has 2 inches pull in the weight, in the reach department, and he has been around in the ranks of the professionals. The rules for Nevada, 10-point must system. We're going 8 rounds. 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Saved by the bell only in the last round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Billy Graham, Cindy Barton, and Patricia Jarman are the assigned judges, and the man in the middle of the ring to introduce the 2 fighters for this one, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout coming your way is a lightweight special attraction scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. At this time, I present to you the judges at ringside for this bout. Bill Graham, Cindy Barton, and Patricia Jarman. Introducing the referee in charge, we have Mitch Halpern. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first on my right. He is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim. He is from the talented and well-known boxing family, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He weighed in at the lightweight of an even 135 pounds with a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. He has 6 wins by way of knockout. Introducing Jazz.
Second place here when the big fights come to town, and as you can see, the action is underway already. We'll have much more in the build-up to the main event. We've been to both camps, to Bow and to Hyde, but first on a night which is also a showcase for emerging young heavyweight talent. Let's see a man being lined up as an opponent for Bow should he win here tonight. He fights Brian Scott, and his name is the unbeaten Cuban heavyweight Jorge Luis Gonzalez. And after the preliminaries by our MC tonight, Michael Buffer, you'll hear commentary from Glenn McClory and Ian Dark.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Good morning to you in Britain. Good evening to you in Las Vegas. The local time here is just after 6 o'clock in the evening, and Herbie Hyde's going to feel at home here. It's been pouring with rain, would you believe, in the middle of the desert for the last 2 days. You're looking at Jorge Luis Gonzalez, the ex-amateur star from Cuba. Rated number 2 by the WBO. He could be the next fight for the winner of Bow versus Hyde, which comes up later on.
Giving your instructions prior to this fight in your respective dressing rooms. Questions from either.
Gonzalez is unbeaten in 22 contests so far. He hasn't been tested really as yet though. But as an amateur, he beat Riddick Bowe, he beat Lennox Lewis, he beat Tyrell Biggs. He's had his critics since starting his career in America. But the general word about him is he hasn't lost a round so far in his career. This is Brian Scott, his opponent from Kansas City. Not much more than a club fighter really. Beaten in 2 rounds by Tommy Morrison and by one Derek Roddy for the Missouri title. That's the difference here then. Glenn, interesting to get a sight of Gonzalez. It might be quick, I get the feeling, this one.
You certainly get that feeling. Looking at him this close, I think he is enormous. A very, very big man. Yes, and blazing on his shot, the king of great KOs.
Calls himself the Lion, Gonzalez, and wears a Stetson everywhere, including the restaurant where he was sitting opposite us eating the other day. Where the referee, unhappy that little advertising hoarding was almost protruding into the ring.
Well, Scott, he's coming straight forward, and Gonzalez isn't finding it hard to miss him at the moment.
Sharp punches from Gonzalez, and he's got good hand speed as well. There's a feeling around, Glenn, that the top heavyweights just might be trying to avoid this fella.
That's right, he hasn't really been in with a big name just yet, and you get that feeling that they don't want to get in with him.
There's already a cut by the forehead of Scott. Doesn't look around the face, he's going for it, Scott. But those 2 damaging defeats, quick defeats too on his record, have him as very much the outsider in this one. Gonzalez in those flashy shorts with King of KO written on the back, and he calls himself the Lion. That blood around the forehead of Scott seems to have been smeared from a cut by the side of his left eye. The blood is not running into the eye, but that's really the extent, you would think, and a measure of the damaging blows that Gonzalez has managed to land already, Glenn.
That's right, and you see why Gonzalez was such a good amateur. That left jab is very, very solid. A good punch. Giving a Scott, he is trying to make a fight of this, taking the fight forward.
Good combination from Gonzalez. He's got a confident, almost arrogant air about him.
Good right hand there from Gonzalez.
This is already looking, as it didn't beforehand, a mountainous task for Brian Scott from Kansas City. I don't think we're going to find out too much more about Gonzalez tonight, not about his world-class pedigree anyway. It's about time they stepped him up in class. Last 10 seconds of this round, and it's been a very emphatic one, as you might expect, for Jorge Luis Gonzalez, the highly touted Cuban.
She's the sexiest woman in the world. Now, only in the People newspaper tomorrow, Pamela Anderson reveals the truth about her marriage, her body, plus pictures you've never seen before.
Hi there, I'm Pamela Anderson. Read my story in the People tomorrow because we're going to clear up this stuff once and for all.
Only in the People tomorrow. There is a tire that gives up to a 5% saving on fuel in comparison with our standard tires. Michelin Energy, driving down the cost of motoring.
Welcome back to the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. Coming up, we've got Herbie Hyde, Britain's WBO heavyweight champion, defending against Riddick Bowe. What a fascinating fight it is. In the ring at the moment, the number 2 fight on the card here. with Brian Scott, the club fighter from Kansas City, under heavy pressure and cut already against Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez coming in here at 17 stone 1 pound. Scott 18 stone 2. Used to be 24 stone at one time in his career, Scott.
He's still carrying a bit of weight around the middle. He's showing out, overall, he's won to make a fight, but he's trying to give his best.
Gonzalez is actually laughing at him in there and talking to him. Come on, he says. He's playing with him really, isn't he, at the moment?
Yes, he is. He's having all his own way and he's enjoying being out there.
It's only really a matter of time, you would think. Keep a careful eye on Gonzalez, because you may want to assess just what he's got when they pitch him in with the big names in the division, and that might be sooner rather than later.
That's right. I think it's time that he stepped in that league now. He's 30 years of age. He's a junior manager, and he really needs to be in with the top men in the heavyweight division.
15 out of 22 of his wins have come in the first 2 rounds, Gonzalez. He's just taken his foot off the accelerator a bit. He's talking to people at ringside now. Scott's trying to make an argument of it, but at the moment it looks a futile exercise for him. Crowd responding. The cup's opened up again for Scott. Oh, got through with the right hand that time. Now, how will Gonzalez respond to that? That's his response, ending with a right uppercut, and Scott is on his knees and in trouble. He'll get mandatory 8, but will he get up at all? Referee Toby Gibson, his face is a red mask. There's a timeout at the moment. They're going to wipe the blood away. And maybe the doctor will take a look. He does look in a bad way, Glenn.
He certainly does, and the referee's waved it over.
It's over. Gonzalez, who never had a smile off his face throughout that, with contemptuous ease, again wins inside 2 rounds. But it doesn't tell us anything we didn't know, really, does it? That
it certainly didn't. We didn't really say anything. Scott wasn't good enough to put him in under any kind of pressure, and he really treated that fight with arrogance. And it was quite an easy win, just when he wanted to do it. He stepped up the ropes there. I think the last shot was a good uppercut. There it is, that left hand and a second right hand. 2 good uppercuts finished the job.
really was an impressive response. Scott had just hit him with 1 right hand, and that was when Gonzalez kind of cruelly just decided the time was right to end the argument. It was that easy, wasn't it?
It was. I don't think he made any friends with his arrogance. Certainly the crowd did not like that.
He's a charismatic character, though, Gonzalez. His dad was a pro. He apparently likes Greek mythology movies and Benny Hill, something of a culture clash there, you might think. He watches wildlife videos. He wears a Stetson everywhere. And he says he's not going to let fame get to his head.
Following the knockdown and mandatory 8 count, referee Toby Gibson conferred with chief physician at ringside, Dr. Flip Omansky, and had to call a halt to the bout because of severe lacerations suffered by Brian Scott. The winner at 2:34 of round number 2, his record now 23-0, 22 KOs by way of Cuba, now Las Vegas, Nevada, Jorge Luis Gonzalez.
23 unbeaten for Gonzalez. How good is he, we wonder? We await developments. He might be fighting Harvey Hyde or Riddick Bowe next in June.
And we're live at the Sundome on the campus of USF in Tampa, Florida. Jeff DeForest and Charles J. happy to be bringing you Schlitz Malt Liquor Fight Night. Our next matchup will be in the heavyweight division, and a very interesting story, as we alluded to at the top of the program, as Jorge Luis Gonzalez steps into the ring. His opponent tonight will be Big Ben Smith. Jorge Luis Gonzalez, the Cuban defector, 5-0 as a professional. Big Ben Smith is not a very distinguished fighter, but he is certainly going to distinguish himself tonight if he can pull off an upset here. We're just about set for the official announcement, introductions of the two fighters as they are making their way into the ring. Your impressions thus far of Jorge Luis Gonzalez, Chuck?
He looks like a guy that has tools, is able to put together punches. No question he's got savvy. He knows what to do in the ring. I think in the past, weight may have been a problem with him. And, you know, like we've talked time and time again about up-and-coming fighters, level of opposition. Can he prove himself against different plateaus in terms of talent of his opposition as he continues in his career?
Set for the introductions, here's our ring announcer, the inimitable Mark Biro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for 6 rounds, heavyweights. Your referee is Brian Gary. Introducing first, in the blue corner to my right, weighing in at 242¼ pounds, he is undefeated in 5 professional bouts with 5 knockouts. El hijo de la República de Cuba, now living in Miami, Florida, Jorge Gonzalez. His opponent in the red corner, wearing the black trunks, white trim, weighing 221 pounds, pro record, 2 wins, 4 defeats, from Pittsburgh, PA, Big Ben Smith. 6 rounds, heavyweights.
Okay, fellas, we went over the instructions in the locker room before the bout. I want you to obey my commands at all times. When I tell you to break, you break cleanly. Understand? Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands and come out boxing at the belt.
And there's a look at the tail of the tape. It reads like Apocalypse Now as far as Big Ben Smith goes. Jorge Gonzalez dominating there, 6'6", 242 pounds, an 82-inch reach, which is enormous.
There's no question Gonzalez is one big guy and one tough customer. He's about, I'd say he's about as big as Primo Carnera was when he held the heavyweight championship. They're telling him right, and they're telling him right now to lower his trunks a little bit because that'll be a low, you know, it won't be a low blow if he gets hit on that black band around his waist.
Looks to be a little bit trimmer, even though he basically inhaled the buffet at lunch this afternoon following the weigh-in.
We did too. So, you know.
Fortunately, we were there before Gonzalez. All right, this is round 1. Gonzalez, the taller of the two fighters. He wears the red trunks with the black trim. Big Ben Smith in the black trunks with the white stripe. And he comes out fighting like a wild man, and he rolls into the cheap seats. He's hanging on for dear life already, and he hasn't even been hit, Chuck. Not a good sign.
He's having a rather impromptu meeting with the commission. I wonder what they're telling him.
Well, they're looking over his license right now and wiping the sweat off his pants. Let's see. Don't tell me he's claiming to be hurt. He's going to wave it off. Oh. I don't think the fans are going to be too happy with this performance. And the Boxing Commission, which now has an indelible impression of Big Ben Smith all over their trousers, may not forget what he's done in the ring here tonight in Florida.
Well, you know, I just didn't see a punch. I saw him get tackled, roll over the ropes and out of the ring, and
something wrong with this guy, man.
That was it.
There were bigger punches thrown in Lewiston, Maine in that Clay Liston fight. Here's another look at it. We'll see if we can find something for you. Looks like Ben Smith needs a seeing-eye dog there as he comes in.
Now, all right, he corrals him around the neck and throws him through the ring. I mean, Big Ben didn't even get clocked.
Well, he struck out here. Big Ben Smith seems very pleased to pick up a paycheck. Not a knockdown, Brian Gary is telling us. He was thrown out of the ring, and he simply quit. Something not quite right with Big Ben Smith tonight. Perhaps the sight of Jorge Gonzalez enough to shake him up. We have the official announcement of the time of what was a less than interesting performance tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, a John Unitas 19 seconds of the first round. The winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, Jorge Gonzalez.
And there's your winner, Jorge Gonzalez. See, with an apologetic look for his fans here tonight, as he didn't get a chance to really show his talents here. Even Mark Biro getting in on the jokes.
One time was a good fighter, but at 37 he's seen better times, but he can bang a bit. And remember, on his record, he's lost 7, it's true, but he's only been stopped once, and that was against Larry Holmes, and he had Holmes on the deck. And the usual rules there, this is local rules, obviously not WBCA, BCs or IBFs. It's remember the 3 knockdown rule. In effect, one man goes down, it's automatically over. They use the word standing 8 count. I think they really mean the mandatory 8 count there. It's not the amateur ruling. So the atmosphere is building up, as it always does here. There's no doubt about that. And you just come up to no more than a few seconds too early, really. I've seen a lot of snipes. I've only seen videotape of Gonzalez, but close up is quite an awesome looking character, I have to tell you that. Only had one fight this year, this fellow, Ronaldo Snipes, who won in the 3rd round. So they're waving all over now.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Spencer Promotions, Main Events Monitor Promotions, and the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All these bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Bruce Lane, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. Executive Director is Mark Ratner. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Omansky, Dr. James Wishgame, and Dr. Robert Boy. The timekeepers will be James Cavan and Mike Lasella. The judges for this first bout will be Lou Tabbitt, Bill Graham, and Cindy Barton. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Toby Gibson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started with a 10-round bout. This is in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 217 pounds and wearing the gold trunks with blue trim. He's from Yonkers, New York, with a professional record of 39 victories, 22 by KO, against 7 defeats with 1 draw, and he's a former Continental America's heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronaldo Mr. Snipes. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with gold trim, weighing 237 pounds. This 4-year world amateur champion is now undefeated as a professional with a record of 16-0, 15 KOs. Originally from Cuba, now fighting out of Miami, Florida, introducing Jorge Luis Gonzalez.
The rundown from the referee there. Well, I hope they can be heard as tall as these fellas are.
Hey, gentlemen, I've given you both your instructions prior to this fight in your respective dressing rooms. Mr. Gonzalez's trunks are high. I'm considering this a legal punch. I'm letting both corners know right now. Does he understand? Okay, legal.
That's a good point.
Okay.
If he hits him on the belt,
obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you.
That's an unusual one, Jim, isn't it? Being able to hit on the waistband, it becomes a fair punch, but he's such a huge guy, this. As I said, bigger than Primo Garner and Jess Willard. And you'll have no problem identifying him, will you, with the satanic goatee and the lion's mane. Well, now, sorry, Jim, I wonder if he can fight this fellow. He's been a bit of a Jack the Lad. Doesn't really get down to training, but now for this one, he says he has.
I sometimes feel 6'7" is too tall for a fighter, but he looks fairly athletic the way he moved around when he was warming up. So I've got a good look at him here and I just see.
He has an amateur verdict over the great Teofilio Stevenson, Jim. Admittedly, the old boy in Stevenson is getting past it a bit, but it's still a good one for the record. Amazing time. The only time he's gone the distance, an 8-rounder, Gonzalez. His opponent was only 5'7". A Texan called Davy Groves. That's in May last year. Well, is he going to wind that right hand up, Jim? He's showing it a bit, isn't he? Without unleashing it.
But he let one go just a second ago. Snipes managed to block it, but it looked a fair right-hand punch. Lost his gum shield already.
Just over a minute, that's out now. I'm surprised. Yes, you'll have to take that out now. Take time off and get that gum shield back. Wash it.
Come on, let's go.
It's quite right, taking Snipes back to the corner there. I didn't actually spot a punch there. What happened?
No, there wasn't a punch. I can only imagine it's an ill-fitting gum shield because nothing much was happening when he lost it.
He's doing a lot of threatening at the moment, the Cuban now, the Miamian. Defected from Cuba, actually. And hit himself in Moscow, of all places, and then got shipped out to Finland.
So that's quite a vicious right hand he throws, Reg. It hasn't landed cleanly yet, but a couple of times he's let it go. He looks to get a fair bit of power behind
get off him. That's
a little bit clumsy with that one, but the two before that real good, solid right hand punches.
No wrestling, gentlemen. Clean inside, clean inside.
Well, it's early on to make any, genuine judgment, but he's not a bad mover, is he?
He doesn't look too bad, and he doesn't seem in the least bit worried about what Snipes is going to throw back. He keeps Snipes backed up to take the sting out of his punches, and very confident. And it doesn't seem as though anything that Snipes can do is going to trouble him.
So coming up then to the end of the opening round, scheduled for 10, unlikely for heavyweights, this is these guys never want to go the distance. Like that hairbrush that they're stuck on the back of his neck there, Jim. That's some hairstyle there. I don't think I'll ask the name of his barber. Well, that one was on the leg. That is slowing down.
That was like a smack in the backside, that one.
Wasn't it? Well, 15-year pro, this man,
move
Ronaldo
towards the
Snipes.
left. You let him get to you. Move to the left. He get to his line. Move to
Mike.
Move to your left.
The early days of
away
his career
from
beat
the
Johnny
right hand.
Garcia, Johnny Mustafa Mohammed, or Gregory. South African Johnny Dupoy. So the opponents for this fellow early on, it doesn't mean much, and as Lennox Lewis pointed out, that's his claim to fame, that he beat Riddick Bowe and Lennox in the same week. In fact, I think it was like 24 hours. His last fight, Gonzalez, was a one-rounder, a fellow called Dwayne Hall. Second round. And really, Jim, 16 stone 13. He's pretty agile, this Gonzalez, isn't he?
Yeah, decent balance. Sometimes when people are a little bit too tall, the balance suffers. But a couple of times he's missed with a punch, which he did then. He doesn't topple over. Decent balance. And the right hand certainly looks a fair bit of power in it.
Referee just had a nod at him there, Jim. Did you notice that?
Well, Snipes got him with the right hand last year. Didn't shake him at all, but that was a decent shot. That'll maybe give the Snipes a little bit of heart. He's going to have to try to get forward and get some punches going. He's been backed up all the way through the first round.
Oh, he's getting his own back there, Snipes. He's hitting Gonzalez on the hip now. Was a good puncher at one time, Ronaldo Snipes. That's the last thing they lose, of course, the heavyweights.
Let him up, let him up, let him up. Come on.
Gonzalez might be making a mistake ignoring Snipes' long left hand. I mean, having any trouble catching with it? No, he was there. He wasn't quite close enough.
Okay, let him up. Come on.
Be interesting, Jim, if Snipes really catches him clean again, what will happen with this fella? Tell you what, we'll shout out timber if he comes our way.
Snipes is a little bit more active in this round. He was just moving around, keeping himself out of trouble in the first round. But he's trying to get forward a bit more. He's not moving back from the punches so much now. He's trying to slip inside.
Let him up, let him up.
So a minute to go then in the second. He keeps showing that right hand. It's a bit obvious, isn't it, Gonzalez?
Yeah, but he's not cumbersome the way he throws the punches.
No, I agree with you.
He carries his left hand very low, but a couple of times he's whipped it into a hook, you know, fairly sharp.
It looks as though he's trained for this one anyway.
Yeah, good sharpness about his punches. I mean, Snipes, although he's a little bit down the road, he's still very experienced, and he's keeping his chin well out of harm's way. Gonzalez, good and sharp with his movements and with his punches.
Well, there's a lot of concentration around in the audience here as they're coming in for the main event, of course. Rather than cheering like that, they're just looking sort of staring at these two, Jim. I don't think they can believe what they're seeing on the sides of Gonzalez. And there seemed to be a little bit of fight left with Snipes. Have another look at that.
See, fairly relaxed, Gonzalez. And he whips the point. That was a good right hand. Didn't really have much of an impact. A decent shot. Over it came. See, it was bang on the button. Just for that split second, there was a little reaction. But Gonzalez looked straight back at him, no problem. So, looks like a decent chin with that one anyway.
Okay, estamos ganando. Okay.
What'd you say, 2 jabs? Have them move. Let's go. Come on.
Third round then. Snipes 15 stone 7, Gonzalez 16 stone 13. Tell you, they grow them big these days, don't they?
Let him up, let him up, let him up.
Referee local, Nevada referee Toby Gibson. Not bad for an old boy of 37, isn't he, Snipes, Jim? He's in good shape. Lost to Tim Witherspoon and Greg Page and Terrell Biggs, but he's won his last 10. In fact, his last loss was 5 years ago, Ronaldo Snipes, to Ollie Norris.
Gonzalez isn't bad, Reg. Makes good use of his feet. Just a little step back as the Snipes comes forward. Decent balance, and he gets the punches off fairly quickly. Not that bad.
The Cubans can come up with a few heavyweights. You know, they had the gold medalist in the heavyweight division, of course, in Barcelona. And Teofilo Stevenson, a record holder in the Olympics. Oh, now this is really showing us the hands dropping like. Well, as I said, he's a bit of Jack the Lad in him, isn't there?
Snipes' face is becoming a little bit banged up now, Reg.
Yeah, I'm not
the
surprised.
jab's been whipping into it a few times.
Quit holding him, quit holding him, quit holding him.
Jim, I know it's getting a bit nippy here now, but you can almost hear Gonzalez exhaling like that, can't you? It makes a lot of noise, doesn't he? As though he's getting tired. I can't believe he is.
I don't think so. I mean, he's been fairly in control right from the start. Still looking sharp enough.
Oh, good
right
combination there. well, you can see that one coming. He's taking real charge here now, Jim. He's not exactly a different gear, but something's come over him here.
I know he's taking a lot of chances with his hands down, but it's nice the way he's just stepping back from Snipes' leads, swaying back a little bit, coming back with good counters. I'm quite impressed. He's a little bit better than I expected him to be.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he couldn't be as adventurous as this against a top fighter. But taking a lot of chances, a little bit careless. But he's got Snipes under control.
I think Lennox Lewis could help himself a bit with a good left-hand jab if he remembers to use it enough. But
I don't think he would box with these tactics against Lennox Lewis.
I don't know why they're jeering that. I mean, usually a bit of showmanship. They like it, the Americans, don't they? It's a tough audience in this town in Las Vegas.
I want you to go to
No, what time is it? Per round.
4 o'clock. Okay, we got to go to the body. Stop head having so much. I want you to dig
Good
down
win
body.
one service, Trevor
back.
Berbick has got a decision. Him and Berbick was world champion, and of course defeated Muhammad Ali in his Ali's last fight. Have a look at that again, Jim.
See, I like the fact that Gonzalez is not stiff in the slightest. He's very relaxed. Good combination, good variety, and just doing pretty much as he likes here. Totally in control. Carrying the left hand very low, but he's whipping it up, and Snipes can't really see it coming. That's a good solid right hand he throws. See, looking to get that whipped in there. You just caught with the uppercut.
Mix it up, both of you. Mix it up.
Out for the 4th round, and well, the referee responding there. Mix it up, both of you. Well, I don't think Snipes wants to rush in there and take too many chances.
I don't know that the referee's got any right saying
No,
that,
I
Reg.
don't think he has.
There's not been a lack of action, quite the opposite. Snipes is trying to get in close, and Gonzalez just whacking him every time he tries. I mean, I don't know where the referee gets that.
Goes right back to the Archie Moore days, Jim, at Harringay when he fought Yolandi Pompey, and he did that, and Jack Hart, the referee, said it to him, and Moore said, I think you're very rude. Oh dear. There's enough target there for him to land on, isn't it, Snipes?
Well, you've got to give Snipes a bit of credit. He's certainly determined enough, Reg. He's always been a proud fighter. And he keeps saying nothing's going his way, but he's keep coming forward.
Oh
yep.
dear.
Well, teach him, Reg.
That'll learn him, as they say, yeah. Oh dear.
I think he deserved a little
That would have
clip.
been off for all meetings there, wouldn't it? No bets there. I'll tell you what, the referee takes a fair punch, Jim.
Yeah, and Snipes doesn't feel so bad. He's at least have hit somebody now.
I mean, he's slapping him now, Jim, with punches. You wouldn't like to take those, would you?
See, he's standing his ground now. See, I think if he starts backing Snipes up, then he could maybe have the job finished. He's allowed Snipes to come forward the previous round in this one.
He's been a pretty good old warrior over the years, but one of the nearly men, actually, Snipes. So a minute to go in the 4th. Scheduled for 10, but I still think very unlikely to go that. See, weight-wise, Jim is huge as a trunk tree, isn't he, actually, Gonzalez, but he's still lighter than Riddick Bowe at 16-13.
It's going to be down to the condition that Gonzalez has. A little bit laid back. He's not setting the pace anymore. It's quite hard just to back off and let Snipes set the pace.
There was some talk in the fight circles that he does run out of gas a bit, and he said that's because I haven't trained that well. He thinks it's all fun living in America after being, well, to use his terms, fairly imprisoned in Cuba. Certainly won a bit of a conversation there, didn't they? And the arrival then of Evander Holyfield. Well, he hadn't got too many minders around him anyway. Let's have a quick look at that again.
Gonzalez still trying to bomb the big right hand home. But Snipes staying a little bit below it. And the few times the big man has gotten through, Snipes has taken them well. So if this goes a few rounds, Reg, we'll see what kind of condition he's got.
Go, corner.
Check out the
Fifth round. Now let's see if he's going to get down to business again with Gonzalez, or whether Snipes can just throw that, well, not lucky punch. There's no such thing really. If you throw a punch, it's not very lucky. That's what you were trying to do, land on the target. Comes out full of running, doesn't he, Snipes? You know, looks like he means business.
Well, he fancies the job, Reg, and that's all you can ask from an opponent. After the first round, I thought maybe he was just going to make up the numbers, but the longer the fight goes, the more Snipes is fancying it.
Oh, he's been very saucy here in the sparring sessions here, Gonzalez, and mouthing off to Riddick Bowe, and all kinds of things have been happening there. He's trying to get himself a fight with Bowe. He might regret that, perhaps. Still got a lot of proving to do, this big man.
The only thing about the way he's boxing now, Reg, he's not making his advantages count. He's not using his reach, he's not using his weight, he's not using his strength, he's allowing Snipes to come forward, he's just pot-shotting with the jab. And he's pulling him down every time he comes close. He's just been warned for that. If you have the advantages, then you should be using them. You've got to learn how to use them.
Still surprised he's not a cumbersome fellow, you know, Jim. He's hugely built, quite a lot of ability, but the thing is, it looks as though he wants to do it in spasms all the time, full of showbiz stuff, you know. It won't be good enough at top level.
Yeah, I mean, he's fairly athletic, he's not clumsy. The fact that he's 6'7", I expected him to be a little bit clumsy. He's not. He's a little bit too laid back. He should be backing Snipes up, keeping him backed up with the jab, then he would get the right hand home. Snipes has the experience, and if you allow a fighter like Snipes to box his own type of fight, he's going to give you problems.
Oh, they love it, the crowd, when Snipes lands a blow. Whoa, look at that. The heavy rollers have allowed themselves a bit of a cheer now. Coming up to the end of the fifth then. Just a little nick, as you can see there, around Snipes' right eye, just above. It's out of harm's way, as they say. Cornermen won't have any problem patching that up.
If I get my man down comfortably.
Start working them body. Start working them body.
Beautiful job.
Apply a bit of pressure there with that and swell, well iced up that little block, and push it down the swelling. So there's a wide angle view of it all now. So while we're waiting to come out for round 6, don't forget Beau Holyfield comes up after Hearns and Andrew Maynard, which is next. So that'll be around, what, 3:45 to 4:15 British time, depending on the length of the Hearns fight. Sixth round then of the scheduled 10.
Gonzalez has a decent jab, Reg, when he decides to use it. but he should be back in Snipes. Snipes produced a lot of good work in the 5th round, and Gonzalez shouldn't be allowing that to happen. He should use his advantages and get this fellow backed up now.
It's the best name, of course, that Gonzalez has been in with, and just to repeat that he did go 8 rounds with a little 5'7" Texan in May last year.
It's a decent right hand he whipped in towards the body there.
The low punches with the left hand there, Jim, didn't he, Gonzalez? But certainly Snipes has not been playing. He's giving credit for that.
Gum shield going again. At least that time it was punched out.
Yep. See, the referee has to wait for what they call the appropriate moment. He doesn't want to necessarily break the action up immediately, but it is a medical rule. Now replace the gum shield.
I just want the mouthpiece here.
Or mouthpiece, as they call it here, which is another hint from the lawyers as well. And I'm always saying this was invented by a British fighter, Ted Kid Lewis, whose birthday centenary was only a few weeks ago. Minute to go then in the 6th. Oh dear. Nearly had to duck that one, Jim. It came out over us. Imagine referring to somebody as the little fella. The crowd love him, Jim. 15 stone 7, little fella.
Snipes is making him work, Reg. He's not giving him all his own way. Still trying to come forward.
Get ready.
It's all a bit hit and hope by Snipes. It's the only chance he's got. A bit of swelling around the left eye, Jim.
Yeah, his face has been banged up quite a bit for the last couple of rounds, and it's getting worse every round.
I think Snipes sees this as a bit of a big chance and a big audience, and you know, a sort of big professional night, isn't it? All the top fighters are here and the promoters. But well, you can see he certainly have been. Well, I think the old scribes called it bellows to mend. He's blowing very hard here.
You got to work that body. Come on.
Yes, sir. Okay. How many fingers are you got 2. Yeah, get that steel on it.
The doctor just standing up to, as well, having a check over the ropes and make sure everything's in order there in this corner.
You're not moving like you're doing it. Move. You got to move.
I think that's as close as I need to go to see that damage, Jim.
You're not doing straight. Remember how we worked them two? Remember how we did the 2 the double up on right hand? You're not doing this.
Let's go. Come on, baby. You're tough. I'm gonna go. Take him out of there. You know.
7th round. Well, I started off by saying that will it go 10 most unlikely of the heavyweights of this caliber, and could well be wrong. It may hang in there for 10 rounds. But certainly Snipes' face now suffering damage, so I don't know whether they can keep mashing him up like that, getting rid of these contusions.
See, that's a good jab Gonzalez throws, but he should be backing this fellow up, getting more power into his punches. He certainly has probably the ability to stop Snipes, but he's allowing Snipes to keep coming forward. He's not getting the full power into his own punches.
Oh dear, Jimmy, wound up with that one to the body, didn't he? Almost like the Cuban Bolo punch that the great Kid Gavilan used.
We have to remember Snipes has always been a tough nut, Reg, and he fancies the job, so I suppose he's entitled to put up a good show against Gonzalez. Gonzalez, I think he's not bad. If he pays full attention to the game and does it properly, then it won't be too long before he gets a crack at one of the titles.
He's not a champion yet, Tim, but I think he's going to make it a bit awkward for those who are.
I think he's got a fair bit of potential. Decent balance considering 6'7". A decent variety of punches, a decent jab. Yep, a fair bit of potential.
Yeah, he's got middleweight's legs really, isn't he?
Both of you, come here. Box it up, let's mix it up.
Box it up, Chip. Send off a parcel or something, this guy. I mean, they're fighting to their ability. He's not entitled to say that.
I don't know what he wants. The action has never stopped. Snipes has never stopped coming forward. They've always been in punching range. Look at Snipes' face. Is that because nobody's hitting him?
Yeah, exactly.
Box.
You know, Snipes is entitled to say to him, why don't you fight him then? Somebody must.
I don't know what he wants. I mean, it's really been non-stop.
Gonzalez has hit Snipes with everything but the corner bucket, Jim, so we're bound to say, well, does he really punch his weight? And the crowd still pouring in here at Caesars Palace. 15,500. There's the big man himself, Riddick Bowe, who really did look good at the weigh-in. Surprisingly, he's got some weight off. He's a big man, though, isn't he? 17.5 stone, and he really did look in good condition. All the chat about him being overweight, just a big man that can carry the weight. In fact, he was saying to, you know, it's revealing really that although he's got heavier, he's actually got less fat contention in his body. He's had it checked, and he's very happy about it.
I'm not waiting, Dad.
Your right hand is good. You got to throw it straight.
So the man from Yonkers, New York, now well under fire, and this fella seems to be enjoying it all. Gonzalez, first big show for him really of this kind.
Arriba. Stop.
Defected from Cuba, obviously, and finished up where he should have been in the first place, in Miami, instead of going with the Cuban team and locking himself in Moscow. And then sent to Finland, and finding his way back there to America. Well, there's a good quote from Gonzalez, really, when we talked about it. He said, a man without risk has no emotion.
See, he's very cool, Gonzalez, too. Snipes, okay, we have to keep in mind that Snipes a little bit past his best, obviously. But he's put up a good show, put him under a fair bit of pressure, but the big fellow, never too upset about anything, always looking straight back at Snipes. Is the last word in the exchanges. You know, he probably could handle Snipes a little bit better than he's doing.
Oh, look, they love that one. Back of the arena cheered that one, and they're dying to see Snipes nail him.
Full credit to Snipes, it just really is a good performance he's putting up.
Hitting the air a bit too often, those Snipes.
But that's down to the big fellow. He's just pulling the chin back, stepping back, swaying back here and there. So although he looks to have a loose defence, he wants him to come forward now.
It's as if Gonzalez was saying, do I have to do this?
He is fairly banged up now, Snipes, isn't he? I mean, that was a big right hand he caught him with then, and I think it's knocked a little bit of the fight out of Snipes. See, I've always felt if Gonzalez starts going forward, he could get the job finished, and now he's doing that.
Well, there's about
Snipes don't have much left. I don't
40
think
seconds to go in the 8th round. Oh, he's toying with him a bit now, Jim. We could do without this.
Arrogance, yeah, we could do without that. I mean, he's in with a real good old pro here. We don't need the arrogance.
Yeah, show a bit of respect for the man.
But I've always felt if Gonzalez started backing him up, he could just take complete charge and get him out of there. And a few signs that that's happening now.
Taking time off again. Third time that's been out the gum shield, and well, the expression on Snipes' face as if to say, need I go on with this? And I hope the referee steps in, and even better yet, the corner would rescue him.
Nice, time to get him out of there. Too one-sided now, too one-sided.
Yeah, there's a certain sadness about that, isn't there, to see this fellow. Also, a desperation sign there as he looked at the audience. He's saying, I'm okay in the corner, I can hear it quite plainly. Referee going over though, Jim.
Well, just total arrogance there. A couple of left hooks landed early in the round, and I think Gonzalez maybe took offence at that and decided to remind him just who was boss. He's back to the ropes here. A couple of left hooks landed, and from this point, Gonzalez decided, okay, you think you're going to give me some problems? Well, quite the opposite. And produced a lot of good work. A little bit arrogant. The arrogance we could have done without, but a big round for Gonzalez.
When that bell goes, Jim, I got a feeling the referee might step in almost immediately.
I just like to see his corner pull him out. I mean, did his corner actually think he has a chance of winning this?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The 9th round, no, he isn't. I thought he would call it off and wait for the bell. Saying, come on now, Gonzalez is saying. I mean, this is a sort of big bully now game, isn't it, Jim?
Well, I mean, Gonzalez is not going to make himself the people's champion with this kind of nonsense, the arrogance and taking the other fellow down. But he's totally in charge.
Oh yeah, you can't knock his performance in that sense, and he's very much the governor. Oh, not again. This time it's it's a lace coming loose on Gonzalez.
Need another glove.
Got to get another glove, Jim. It's not just a lace; it's a split. Oh, that's, you know, at this stage of the fight, Jim, we could have forgotten all about that and said, come on, let's call this fight off anyway, waiting for gloves to be replaced.
Yeah, take your time.
It's almost like Roberto Duran there, doesn't it? Just have a word from Lennox Lewis then. That's a good chance to get in, Lennox.
Well, I think that Gonzalez should just go out there and stop him. You know, just a quick rally and stop the fight and get it over with. He doesn't need to be in there longer and saying, come on.
Okay, Lennox, thank you. We couldn't quite hear you here actually on this occasion, but well, let's see now what's going to happen in this so-called one-sided fight here. It's ridiculous. It's almost as one-sided as a lynching, this one.
We only got 8-ounce gloves. We can bring in the 10-ounce gloves. Come on, Tony, I want this. Where's the glove? No.
Going to be a bit of a common happening in the fight game with replacing gloves. And if you remember the famous Henry Cooper and then Cassius Clay back in '63, although in fact the glove wasn't replaced, but it was badly split. In those days, horsehair was coming out of it, but that's no longer used in the gloves. All the time for it to happen, Jim. That's what's so upsetting about it, isn't it? I mean, seconds away really from being stopped, and should have been stopped a bit earlier. Now we've got to go through this performance.
Well, Reg, I don't know if it was seconds away from being stopped, because this referee is the bravest referee I've seen. I mean, he's complained about lack of action, and look at the state of Snipes' face. I mean, I don't know what it'll take to keep this man happy. So I don't think what happens to Snipes is going to upset this referee in the slightest, and it's going to go the full distance unless his corner pull him out or Gonzalez manages actually to stop him.
Yeah, I agree with you. You said earlier, I mean, he should have, the corner should have a little bit of compassion, get him out of there.
I mean, if the man's put up a show, as Snipes has done, and he's no chance of winning, he's losing every round, just taking punishment, and it's definitely one-sided now. It's time to call it a day.
I don't know whether this rest will do this fella any good, Jim. I doubt it, do you?
I don't think Mansell could use these guys in the pit, Reg, could he?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Time they're taking.
Absolutely not, no. I presume that's the manager, Louis de Cubas, there in the... Oh no, it isn't. It's a Nevada
Steward, yeah.
inspector, yeah, because he's just initialed the tapes around the wrist of the glove there. So a restart then of round 9.
Scheduled for 10.
What a gutsy guy Jim Ronaldo starts, eh?
Well, just as we keep saying, a real good old pro, fancies the job, always puts up a show. When you think at 37 years old, he'd just be making up the numbers. But no, still looking for a result.
Yeah, you got to admire a fellow like that. It might be foolish bravery, but you still have to admire them. I don't know what that means, Jim, though. He doesn't say break, he says box, box, referee.
Well, Gonzalez, he's not ready for the big boys yet, Reg, but he's certainly got a bit of potential. He's very cool, throws good shots. A lot of potential, but as I say, not quite ready for Bo or Lewis.
I can't believe how he's come to life like this from Ronaldo Snipes. There's no chance of winning unless he just, well, may throw one of those haymakers that lands, who knows.
Gonzalez has also worked at a fair pace, and he's had a few little rests here and there. You know, but over the 9 rounds that are almost completed, he's let go with a lot of leather, set a fair old pace, so obviously he's got himself in shape.
Oh dear. If only, if only.
Box in here, box.
Some more of the cheeky, arrogant stuff coming from him now.
Yeah, I was going to go 10. I certainly didn't expect that. At least into the 10th round, but one was suspected to be a one-sided one for Gonzalez. And there's the rundown for the next fight. Comeback of the great Tommy Hearns. Not a bad opponent either, Andrew Maynard, fought in the Olympics in Seoul. And up to cruiserweight now for the Tommy Hearns, having once defeated her own Dennis Andrews. The referee going over and reminding them that it's the last round. I would have thought Snipes was more than aware of that. Insisted on touching gloves. First time he's been in the 10-round course, of course, Gonzalez.
He's been leaning down and top up by Snipes a lot. He's been warned for it once or twice. Yeah, well, yeah, I can agree with that, all right. For once, I agree with the referee. I mean, he's been doing that all the way through. He's so much taller than Snipes. When Snipes gets close, he's pushing him down, not allowing him to work.
Well, just when it looked like, well, it was all over by the sympathy there for Ronaldo Snipes. He's really come back well there. My heart goes out to him.
Oh, there you go. I mean, experience, an old pro with experience and decent shape. He's always going to give you problems if you let him box his own fight. And Gonzalez has allowed Snipes to come forward for most of the night. I think Gonzalez could have had a far easier time tonight if he'd backed Snipes up a lot more. It's just maybe his attitude is a little bit laid back.
Yeah, he likes the counter stuff. Well, we go to the judges now, it would seem, for this one, and the lady among them, Cindy Barton, and appointed by the Nevada Commission. Inside the last minute.
His face is really banged up, isn't it? Oh, here he goes.
Oh, at last he stopped it now. Oh, what a performance this referee's given the two. I don't know why they're booing Gonzalez. In fairness, we haven't enjoyed the sort of taunting stuff that he's done. He could have stopped it much earlier, Jim, couldn't he? There was no need for that. So there you go anyway. He's 16 wins now with 15 stoppages or KOs for Jorge Luis Gonzalez of Cuba. And now Miami, and the man who says he's dying to fight Riddick Bowe. Jim, replay.
Well, he should have been out of there. I mean, nothing left to offer. He had a final burst at the beginning of the round. But I suppose credit to Gonzalez, he finished the job. Didn't look as though he was going to manage that. But look at the referee, look at all that the panic is about. I'll save you, get you out of there. Just a few rounds too late. See, legs a little bit unsteady, backs off, no defence. Man, that one lands high. The final one actually just kind of went by his whisker. It was the punch that landed high that finished the job. See, it's a thumping big right hand that he throws. So that's it. You can see how unsteady his legs are there. That one landed high. Right hand really missed. Down he goes.
Well, that's it. I think this is going to be a bit of a face to remember there in Gonzalez.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Toby Gibson has to call a halt to this bout. The reason is Ronaldo Snipes'
Thank you very much indeed, Reg. Yes, sir.
And a stark contrast in the amateur records of these two fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Gonzalez, as we mentioned, a two-time Pan Am champion, and Campadoni, no amateur fights at all. When the fight starts, we'll tell you how Campadoni became a professional boxer. And Gonzalez says, I know Fidel is watching. So I am going to put forth a special effort here tonight.
Red trunks with black trim. Originally from New York.
And here are the ring introductions from Alan Torr.
Texas, with a professional record of 5 wins, 3 losses. This young man weighs 206 1/4 pounds. Let's welcome William Campadoni. And his opponent. Boxing out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with black trim. He tipped the Toledos at an even 242 pounds. From Havana, Cuba. This young man is the 2-time Pan American Golden Glove champion with an amateur record of 220 wins with only 20 losses, and he is making his professional debut. Let's have a warm welcome for Jorge Luis Gonzalez. 4-round heavyweight.
A tremendous disparity in both weight and reach between these two fighters. William Campadoni weighing in at 206 1/4, Gonzalez at 242 even. Gonzalez an 88-inch reach, Campadoni a 78-inch reach. And here we go with round 1, and Campadoni comes right out after Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Campadoni is a brawler. As a matter of fact, as we mentioned, no amateur bouts. He was a bouncer in a nightclub in New York City. He was spotted punching out a customer by former New York boxing commissioner Jose Torres. Torres hooked him up with Customato, who put him in Mike Tyson's training camp. And Campadoni spent 2 years sparring with Mike Tyson. He goes to one knee and they're ruling it a slip. Eddie Eckert wipes off the gloves, but Campadoni right into a pro career without amateur bouts. Stopped in 1 round in his last fight as he was outweighed by 70 pounds by Billy Wright. That was back on February the 15th. His handler, Ron Sacco, says they have come to Miami to start a career. Well, one guy starting a pro career, Jorge Luis Gonzalez, won 210 out of his 222 amateur bouts, KO'd 169 of those opponents. He won the 1983 and 1987 Pan Am Games championships in the super heavyweight division, representing his native Cuba. In the 1987 championships, Gonzalez beat both Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis on consecutive nights to capture the title. Of course, Bowe and Lewis are both in the top 10 in the heavyweight division right now in the professional ranks, so quite an impressive feat there. And to get to the 1983 team, Gonzalez had to beat Teofilo Stevenson, the Cuban legend, 3 straight times to qualify for the team that went to those Pan American Games. So quite an impressive amateur career for Jorge Luis Gonzalez, 9-0 in international competition against boxers from the United States. Campadoni is a rather unorthodox fighter, calls himself the Gladiator. Favorite fighter, you know, when you ask a lot of these fighters who their favorite fighter was, most of them say Ali or Marvin Hagler or Sugar Ray Leonard or Tyson. His favorite fighter of all time, Jack Dempsey. He likes the way Dempsey went in there and went right after his opponent. You saw how Campadoni went right after Gonzalez at the opening bell. Handicapped a lot by a lack of weight differential between him and his opponent, also experience. His pro debut back in June of 1987, he fought former national amateur champion Alex Garcia and was stopped in 1 round. Garcia was 3-0 as a pro at the time, but had a wealth of amateur experience, and Campadoni was certainly just not ready for that fight against Alex Garcia. Garcia, by the way, mentioned as a potential opponent for George Foreman, but that's another story for another time. Final seconds of round number 1 here in Miami. Round 2, and at 6 feet 3 inches tall, William Campadoni is still giving up 3 inches to Jorge Luis Gonzalez, also giving up quite a bit of weight. Campadoni weighing in at 206 1/4, Gonzalez at 242 pounds. Both fighters have red trunks with the black trim, but Gonzalez is clearly the bigger man in there as he lands a right hand. Gonzalez's story of how he wound up in the United States is a very unique one. He was in Finland for an international competition on April the 3rd. From there, the Cuban team was going to move on to Russia for a bigger international competition. Gonzalez said he had been thinking of defecting from Cuba for years. One night he just walked away from security, got out of the security's reach, went up to a policeman in Finland, asked for political asylum. He was taken away. Shortly thereafter, Luis de Cubas, who also handles Jose Ribalta, Robert Little Joe Daniels, former cruiserweight champion, and had a hand in the comeback of Roberto Duran when Duran won the middleweight title. De Cubas went to Finland and signed up Jorge Luis Gonzalez, had plans to bring him to the U.S., got a little dispute with a rival promoter who claimed to have a contract also with Gonzalez. That dispute has been resolved in court. De Cubas has been given the rights to Gonzalez. It was thrown out of court, the dispute, just recently, as a matter of fact. And de Cubas, the special advisor for Gonzalez, has him in this bout tonight, pro debut against Campadoni, who's covering up. Gonzalez throwing some wild shots and not really connecting solidly with too many of them. But you can tell the tremendous difference in size between these two fighters, that Campadoni is getting worn down just a little bit. It's the final minute of round number 2 in the heavyweight division, and we are scheduled for 4 rounds. The much ballyhooed pro debut of Jorge Luis Gonzalez, former 2-time Pan American champion, Pan American Games champion, representing Cuba. Landing some, not really landing right hands there. That one got through the gloves a little bit. Gonzalez winds up, Campadoni backing toward the ropes. An unusual hairstyle for Campadoni. He says he is still a bouncer at a nightclub in El Paso, where he presently lives. Bob Sacco, the trainer and manager, called him an unpredictable type in the ring. So far, he hasn't been able to forecast any offense for Campadoni. Round number 3 in the heavyweight division. Both Gonzalez and Campadoni wearing the red trunks with the black trim. Campadoni, though, is the guy whose hairdo looks a little bit like a chocolate layer cake, I guess you could say. And Gonzalez is a type that will clown around a little bit in the ring. He holds his hands low. He's got pretty quick hands, and they say pretty good foot speed for a big guy, and he certainly is big at 6'6" and 242. Campadoni throwing a wild left hook there. Gonzalez looks in total control at times, looking away from William Campadoni. Over the head, doesn't seem to have much effect. But you can tell he's knocking those gloves aside, knocking Campadoni back. Good uppercut, and that did get through. And so far, Campadoni's strategy has been to hold his gloves up in front of his face and hope for the best. He hasn't thrown too many punches in this fight, as we are nearing the midway point of round number 3. Gonzalez has really never been threatened since Campadoni came out for the opening bell and swarmed all over him, but not effectively. That left uppercut bothered Campadoni a little bit. He looks to have an abrasion. He's got some blood coming from somewhere. Looks like it could be the bridge of the nose. There is some blood on Campadoni's face that is bothering him. We're trying to get an angle on it. But now, Gonzalez is landing, and the referee Eddie Eckert's going to step in and stop the fight. There's the cut right there. Looks to be near the bridge of the nose of Campadoni. Getting pummeled toward the end, and it is one happy pro debut for Jorge Luis Gonzalez, who gets little more than a workout here against Campadoni, who is not the most offensive of fighters, but nonetheless a guy who came to fight and came to take some punishment. Gonzalez landed some uppercuts with authority in that third round, and being a much bigger guy, they were certainly going to have some sort of effect. As we mentioned, Gonzalez was 242 pounds, Campadoni 206.25. Here you see the entourage of Jorge Luis Gonzalez, trainer Carlos Albuerne. There's Luis de Cubas there in the foreground, congratulating his man on a job well done. And a lot of Gonzalez fans here in the audience. They've heard about him, they've seen him on television before. Now they get to see him in the flesh as a professional boxer. And there certainly is somewhat of a historic occasion here, as Miami's Cuban-American community, very rabid boxing fans, and they have come out in full force for this event. We're getting ready to go up to our ring announcer, Alan Torr, and we'll get the official time of the TKO.
Yes, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes and 7 seconds of the third round by technical knockout. Your winner in his pro debut, Jorge Luis Gonzalez. How about a nice hand for William Campadoni, ladies and gentlemen?